Alright, someone's moving out down the road and they had this out on the curb for all day. I finally gave in and went down there and grabbed it, not knowing anything about it, but sounds like they're pretty neat little push mowers. So this is, didn't have the bagger. This Lawn Boy model 8230 Outboard Marine Corp, Galesburg, Illinois. So it's a 2-cycle engine. I think these decks are like magnesium or something. So other than being dirty, looks in decent shape. So there's no fuel in it, but some point in the future I'm gonna work on it, see if I can get it going and clean it up and see how it cuts. Self-propelled also. Got it all power washed. Well, I suppose we check for spark. No spark on it, everything just got wet in there when I was pressure washing it. Let's see what we got. Flapper hinge is broken. First of all, I'm going to see if it fires with some starting fluid. I know it's mixed fuel and there won't be much oil in the cylinder, but I just see if it'll kick. Sounds like it. Sweet. So I don't know a whole lot about these. There's so many different kinds. This is a 72, I believe. Looks like it's got the metal carburetor. Might have the plastic bowl. I guess some of these are plastic all around. I'm not sure the gas on-off valve. I don't know which way's on or off. I'll just disconnect that hose and check. And then this is the magneto on-off switch, plunger, pull start, and then this lever back here, I think it's maybe high and low speed. But we'll clean it up, get the carb off and clean that up and check it out. The underneath, so this deck is I guess magnesium. So that's why they don't rust out. They're in good shape. And then the muffler on these is underneath. So it exhausts underneath, I guess, under the blade there. I think it's all in pretty good shape. I'm not exactly sure the theory on this wheel here, halfway back, but I think it's for you get a leveler mow, right? So the two front wheels don't tip down into a hole at the same time. It kind of evens things out when you're mowing. I don't know. It may or may not be true, but sounds good. All right, so this petcock under here to the right is off, to the left flowing. So we got that figured out. I'm gonna try to take this carb off. I think looks like a whole intake plate back there. 4 bolts holding it on. So there's the reed valves. Gasket, and this is I believe for the governor. Make sure I get that back up there correctly. These things are nice and simple. Looks pretty good shape in there, the crank. But we'll clean it out. Bowl seam's clean. When I was hitting this plunger though, I don't think there's any fuel getting in there, so the needle probably stuck. That's moving. I popped the shroud off just to see where that governor would go off the carburetor, but I was expecting to see a plastic vein up there, but there was nothing in there, so I don't know if it's missing or if that rod up there is on its own. And then it looks like this speed lever must just advance the timing. Not sure exactly, but I got that off. I'm gonna clean that up in there a little bit and reassemble. Got the carb back on, just doing some cleaning up. So it cleans up pretty good. The gas line, it's actually still pretty flexible, but it's not real tight on there. So maybe I'll snip that off a little lower. I think there was plenty of line before I put it back on. If it's too short, I can always go get some new fuel line. So I'm going to continue cleaning up. I'm pretty optimistic about it. So clean it up and then I'll put fuel in it and give it a couple pulls. I'll take this drive shaft cover off, just clean it so I've never seen in there. So I'll let you see what it looks like. There's that drive gearbox cleaned up. A couple Zerk fittings on here. Looks like it's pretty dry. And then there was a in the front here was like a foam cradle around there. I don't know if you just keep that soaked in oil, keep that shaft going, or what, or is it just to keep debris out. Not sure. But we'll drip some oil on it, soak it in oil, and put it back in there. Just been doing some cleaning up on here, and also want to show that you're supposed to grease inside these drive wheels too. Pump some grease in there. So I was cleaning the side wheel, I noticed it looks like you can mount it in front of this plate or the rear of this plate. It was mounted up front. I'm not sure why you put it in the back, if maybe you needed it real low or something, or don't know. Putting the handle on, there's a low and a high, I guess, for more upright or less upright. And I think the second hole is more upright, obviously. I'll just pop them in there. And then this is the drive clutch rod. You're supposed to pull these two together towards each other and tighten this up. And then the drive cog should be 3/16 off of the wheel, which looks like they are about. And then to store it, you can squeeze these in and flop it up over the deck. But yeah, these handles were in good shape. I just shined them up a little bit, some WD-40 and steel wool. So there's a driving gauge. prime's working. Runs good, not much traction on the self-propelled, but maybe I can tighten that up or. So to get more traction, this gap down there between the drive cog and the tire is supposed to be about 3/16. So then when you engage it, it's a little snugger. So to adjust it, you loosen this up. If you push this bottom rod in, see it closes that gap down there, pull it out a little bit, go about there, and then you come up and snug this, push this top rod into there, snug this tight as you can with your hand, and now it should drive much more less slippage.